What's going on, guys? Beef Legend here with a brand new build here today. This is going to be Boom Cannon Zane, and Boom Cannon Zane is going to be off of the Mantis Cannon being spammed up and Barrier, but with a little bit of a twist. So let's just get right into the skill trees and gear, and I'll show you exactly what this can do. So nothing in the red tree at all. Red tree is completely replaced by Mantis Cannon. The damage percentages are just way too low, and the other remaining stuff is going to be for clone stuff. We're not using clone in this build, so we don't need anything here. Green tree, this is going to be a little bit of a, it's kind of like your support tree. So our first skill, we have Adrenaline. Zane gains increased action skill cooldown rate based on the amount of shields that you have. The more percent full, the greater the bonus. And the thing that combos up with this is ready for action. Your shield recharge rate and delay are increased. And yeah, it makes it so you have an active shield pretty much at all times. With your barrier up, this is going to be active pretty well constantly. There's very few times where your barrier is actually down, so it's a very nice combination to have. And then distributed denial, Zane's barrier gains the effects of his currently equipped shield mod, and the shield effects are applied to all allies near the barrier. Bonuses to Zane are reduced. However, this is just going to be primarily here for your barrier gaining your shield effects, and you'll see why in just a little bit. Our barrier augments. Charge relay, whenever Zane or ally touches barrier, you get movement speed and reload speed. Very nice for one of our weapons, and the movement speed is going to be nice for our blue tree. And all-rounder, the Zane's barrier becomes a dome and has a cooldown of 20%. It makes it so that you can be surrounded at all angles and you'll be fine. To our purple tree, the brand new tree, we're using mana focus for accuracy and handling. This is going to be very nice for one of our weapons, and you'll see why in just a second. Edwin Hand. Kill skill, you get increased critical hit damage and it stacks twice. This is going to be very, very nice for a few of our weapons, but this is one of Zane's main skills in the purple tree. Commitment, Zane gains increased gun damage and action skill cooldown rate. This thing is ridiculous how it works. Basically, it's a stacking skill, and you can stack it up to, I believe, 50 times, which equals out to around, God, 2000% damage. It's insane and utterly nuts. Our class mod gives 5 more points into commitment because it's just that good. Fugitive, you can sprint and shoot at the same time. This is going to be nice for our blue tree and with one of our weapons as well. You'll see in just a second. The Art of War. After activating an action skill or action skill ability, your cannon, Zane's next shot fired from his weapon deals increased damage. This effect stacks. Now, with the melee stuff that we're going to be using in this, I do believe the Art of War works for it, because it just says increased damage. It doesn't specify the type of damage that it's doing. So I do believe that this is going to work. It has 10 stacks and 15% gun damage is going to be on there. But no, this thing is going to be absolutely ridiculous. I prefer it over Eraser because I tried to use Eraser before, but I believe the way that Eraser is working right now is that it only goes through one target and it only hits the target behind them. This is very, very specific as to how you rock Eraser. It's not very good for this build. I'm using Colder Shoulder for your cannon doing cryo damage, but it does reduce damage, but the cryo freeze rate is increased. We definitely want the cryo damage to be coming through, because if we freeze an enemy but don't kill them, there's a 300% damage increase with melee to frozen targets. So it's very, very nice. And then proliferation. I can speak words. The cannon on your shoulder gets additional charges up to 5, and you do increase damage based on the amount of charges remaining. Our cooldown on our cannon is just so ridiculous. We're going to be at 5 shots pretty much constantly, so this is always going to be active. And finally, our blue tree, violent speed, violent momentum, pretty big staple. Killing an enemy, you get movement speed, and the more movement speed that you have, the more gun damage that you have. Salvation for a little bit of lifesteal. Cruel Hand for reload speed, and it stacks twice. The reload speed is very nice for some of our weapons. Seeing red, after activating a action skill, you activate all of your kill skills at once, and you get a kill steal bonus by 15%. This was recently switched out with Death Follows Close, which is our capstone, and yeah, it got a little bit of a buff too with the kill steal bonus on here. Violent Violence for fire rate, and it stacks twice. Plain Dirty, you have an extra chance of projectiles. Good Misfortune, your action skill duration is here. This is super important because the more that you activate your kill steals, the more that you're keeping your barrier active, so it's very nice. And then Death Follows Close. All Zane's kill steals get effects and duration by 25%, and your kill steal duration is increased by 7 seconds. So into our skills here, or into our gear, sorry. Psycho Stabber, 390. What you can do with this thing is you can just hold it in your hand, you can walk around and shooting your Manus Cannon, and you do 390 damage, and it hits really, really hard. Other than that, you don't really use it. 14 times Face Puncher with 390. You can do the exact same thing as the Psycho Stabber, except you can also shoot it. This is going to be one of our main weapons because we have our accuracy handling with Mana Focus. It makes it so that those pellets are a little bit closer together. It makes it so that all 14 pellets can hit more accurately than normal. We also have things like our reload speed, so we can always reload it faster, and our fire rates increase as well, so we can shoot it as often as we need to. It's a really good combination between the three. And I use a Backburner with Action Steal and Splash, and a Plague Bearer with Action Steal and Splash, only for like getting out of Fight for Your Life and bosses and stuff like that. Zane is pretty useless in Fight for his life, so you need something that hits really, really hard. So one of these two can get you out of Fight for Your Life way easier. And we have a Stinger here. It's Cryo, so it's going to be Cryo Stinger. If we freeze enemies with this thing, we do 300% bonus melee, which is our Psycho Stabber and Face Puncher. And while full, melee damage is increased by 50%, and it returns damage if meleeed while shielded. It's also going to be copied over to our barrier as well because of Distributed Denial, which is completely ridiculous. I'm using a Mitosis Hunter Seeker just for the action steal and shock damage. You can choose whatever element you want. You can have cryo, you can have fire, you can have on grenade thrown. It doesn't really matter what grenade you have. You're not really going to be using grenades. It's just there as a placement for your action steal and bonus element. Knife Drain White Elephant. This thing rolled in double melee, and it also has area of effect damage. This is absolutely ridiculous. Melee attacks have a 30% chance to apply a sticky bomb, and you heal from it. I've also noticed that when you're using your Manus Cannon with the Stinger, it can also apply the Knife Drain effects. So if I'm walking around and I have like my HP lowered and I just shoot my cannon a few times, the Knife Drain will proc, and I heal from it. So I'm pretty much constantly healing even if I don't want to. It's very nice. My only suggestion is avoid barrels, because the barrels will one-shot you and you don't really heal back from those as much as you want to. It's been my biggest detriment. And the new column, the Spy, it comes with splash radius, splash damage, melee damage. This is completely ridiculous with the Stinger and any sort of melee damage that we're doing. It hits super hard, and it comes 5 in commitment because we need as much commitment as possible. So what you basically want to do is you want to lead with your barrier. There's your Nova from the Stinger. You pick up your barrier, spam your cannon as much as possible. You don't necessarily hit anything with your cannon. You just want to shoot it to keep your barrier up. Faster that you move, the more that you're going to be doing. It's super hard. These nerds, one shot. That thing, one shot. Now I'm just shooting my Manus Cannon here, but you can also hear the same effects from the Knife Drain. This is what I was talking about just a little bit earlier. Now here's that fight for my life I was talking about. Zane is pretty much completely useless in Fight for his life because you lose all your kill steals. All those bonuses go away, and kill steals is basically all your damage. My biggest concern with this build is barrels on the ground. So if you see barrels, nuke them off as quickly as possible. Alright, our poor little Kraken friend over here. He's gonna die really quickly, nice and easy. Now, this is one of the builds that I was using for the Endgame Rush Community Challenge hosted by Triple G. I don't have this one posted as of yet. However, the time that I got with this compared to my Flak run, It reduced the time by about, I want to say 20 minutes. My flak run had about a 2 hour and a 2 hour and 8 minute mark around, and I got this one done in an hour and 49 minutes. So I got a sub 2 hours with this build. Did Guardian takedown on the true takedown in under 25 minutes. Maliwan takedown, I believe my fastest run was like 6 minutes or something like that. Full run is going to be coming later on the channel, but yeah, this thing can do all sorts of content, all builds, all runs, all end game stuff, whatever you would like it to do. Your survivability is insane, your bossing's insane, your mobbing's way out of the charts. I've been having a lot of fun with this build. It's rather dirty. There goes Valkyrie. And one for you. And he's gone. Still alive somehow. I guess we didn't hit all the bombs on him. Oh, he's done. Now for this next little section, you're going to be seeing just what I mean by the barrels. The barrels are nuts. They can go through your barrier, which hurt. So what I end up doing to save some time here, if you want to do end game community challenge, stand up here, launch off that plague bearer from earlier. Not only will it blow up these barrels, but it'll track all these enemies over here and just blow them up really, really easily. It's radiation, and you can apply 200% splash to all of them. It absolutely kills these things very quickly. Sometimes before they even jump down here, you can hit them. What I would also recommend is not getting too close, because you can actually pop those barrels. You can actually get too close to those barrels, and you can hit them. And it sucks when you hit them, because it hurts. Only done it by trial and error before. Like normal Maliwan stuff, you can just skip through all of this garbage over here. You don't need any of it. Just slows you down. Oh, there's a barrel there. See how much it takes out your shields, even if you have barrier up. When you're at this section, if you want to do Maliwan takedown with this, you can do either or. You can just shoot your Manus cannon for anything that's really close by to you. It usually just blows up rather quickly. You can shoot your plague bearer down the bridge, and it also breaks all that. Breaks up all that garbage over there. That thing behind me's gone. That thing's gone. It's a random badass war dog. And this thing opens up. Blow that up, blow that up. Now Wotan is super simple as well. You can either do the full melee, or you can just switch over to your plague bearer or backburner. Either or works. Wotan goes down rather quickly. I think for just the first few phases we'll do melee, and then we'll see if we can do the one-shot split. I've been trying to do the one-shot split for quite some time in this build to try to save time. Haven't been able to get it, so maybe we'll get it while recording, because why not? Wotan's a rather quick fight, usually about a minute, minute and a half maybe. Okay, let's see if we can get it. Nah, it's gonna be a little too slow, unfortunately, this time. Needed a couple more seconds on that. That's okay. There goes Wotan. See better half over here, and he's done too. Nice and easy. Break the legs, because everyone tells you to break the legs. You get more loot out of it. But yeah, this is Boom Cannon Zane. It hits hard. It clears mobbing very, very easily. Bosses have no chance in hell against you. It's a very fun build to play and mess around with. My suggestion, if you wanted to change up the playstyle a little bit, you can change up the melee artifact a little bit if you want to. Icebreaker, Victory Rush, because we're going to be freezing a lot of enemies. You can get more damage against them. More White Elephants, Radiation Stone, Static Charge. You can get some radiation damage in there as well. Cut Purse, you can actually regenerate your ammo if you hit something with your Stinger and Manus Cannon. A lot of things to play around with in here to change up the playstyle. This is usually what I stick with. The save file is going to be in Discord as always. Discord members have early access, as you guys know. But that's everything with this build, guys. Thank you all so much for watching. My name is BFlattened. I'm signing on out of here. Take care, all. Laters.